Hello and welcome everyone to the Gold and Silver Club end of week commodities review for the 22nd of August 2014, presented by myself, Phil Carr, and Nick Kalsi at the Gold and Silver Club. Today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We shall be analysing the week's performance. The live session will cover a end of week summary for the commodities markets. We'll be covering the top trades of the week. We'll also be covering live market commentary and technical analysis. We'll look at the week ahead, so the key events looking forward. And of course, we'll also be answering any questions you may have on today's session too. So gold price this week, well, the big news today, or the big news we're awaiting, is traders are awaiting Fed Chair Yellen's speech in Jackson Hole. So gold prices rebounded on Friday, but still traded near a 2-month low as commodity traders await the highly anticipated speech by Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen later in the day from the annual Central Bankers Symposium in Jackson Hole for fresh clues about the timing of US interest rate hikes. It is widely expected that Yellen will deliver a dovish speech, whilst most probably underlying that there is still significant slack in the US labour market, which will be bullish for the precious metals and bearish for the US dollar. On the flip side, should Yellen suggest that the more hawkish FOMC members are starting to influence her thinking, then we could see significant volatility, which will be bullish for the US dollar and bearish for the precious metals. Regardless of the outcome, Yellen's speech is expected to present traders with multiple highly lucrative trading opportunities across commodities markets today. Elsewhere, oil prices surged following the latest US inventories data. The current report from the US Energy Information Administration on Wednesday showed a massive decrease in crude oil supplies versus demand. On Thursday, upbeat US economic data, including the Philadelphia Fed Index, US home sales and jobless claims, painted an optimistic picture, suggesting the world's largest economy will consume more energy going forward, which drove crude oil prices up further, as highlighted in our top trades of the week. Okay, so we'll take a look at the technicals very shortly. Before we do so, I'm Phil Carr, professional trainer and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialize in teaching people how to make money from trading the most lucrative financial markets in the world. So gold, silver, oil, natural gas, agricultural commodities. I've trained thousands of individuals to become independent traders and successfully manage their own investment portfolio. And I'm responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies that have a proven track record of generating returns for traders. Also a regular contributor to a number of financial publications, speak at numerous trading seminars, webinars and workshops. Joining me in running the Gold and Silver Club is Nick Kalsi, professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. Nick began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading. Prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club, spent several years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top-tier hedge funds and investment banks. And through his first-hand relationship with some of the world's most successful traders, discovered the formula, mindset and tools that can give any individual the definitive edge to trade in any economy. Also regularly writes for a number of global business and financial publications who appeared frequently on financial television. Right, so we get straight into it and we will take a look at the price of gold at the moment. We're currently trading at 1,281 US dollars an ounce. So we're about 100 points off the lows of yesterday. So with that, we'll take a look at the top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. So earlier on this week, we had a lovely sell short opportunity on Palladium. We had a big inverse hammer there on the daily time frame, which came down and gave us a lovely move, a 250-point profit there, 2,500 US dollars for each lot traded for a 100-point risk. So $1,000 for each lot traded for a 2.5 to 1 risk to reward. We also had some lovely breakout opportunities just yesterday on Brent crude oil and WTI crude oil. So we had a very tight risk on this, 35-point risk, $350 for each lot traded for a profit of 105 points, so 1,050 US dollars profit for a 3 to 1. And yesterday we also had a lovely breakout on WTI crude oil, again from a very tight risk here. The risk was 30 points, so $300 risk for a 150-point breakout, 1,500 US dollars for each lot traded for a 5 to 1. So some lovely moves over the last 24 hours. We also caught a gold move this morning, which I'll talk through this morning, just over 100 points, which we're still in currently. So with that, let's just take a look at the markets at the moment. We'll go into the technicals. The first market that you definitely need to have on your radar today, particularly with the speech, Janet Yellen's speech this afternoon at 3 p.m. BST, is the US dollar index. So the US dollar index did break out this week above the 81.76 level, which we discussed on last week's session. This key consolidation zone, we got a very strong breakout above that level. We've had a significant rally. And at the moment, yesterday, we've produced a bit of an inverse hammer here on the daily time frame. And if we do get a retracement, if the US dollar index sells off, particularly this afternoon, and we're going to move back down to this previous resistance zone at the 81.76 level, this could provide the metals with quite a lot of support. We're already starting to see silver rally, platinum, palladium. We're getting a nice little move on gold just this morning. So this bearish inverse hammer that we have at the moment on the US dollar index, if that comes down lower today and we see a retracement, certainly if we come down and retrace to the mother candle low here at 81.90, and if we get a further move back down to the 81.76 level, we could see this being very supportive for the metals. So this is one chart which you definitely want to keep an eye on today, is the US dollar index and the inverse correlation to the metals. Now, on the metals at the moment, for those of you who have been trading gold this week, what you want to keep an eye on, just go right out on the much larger time frame here, and you'll note that gold has actually found support at a key trend channel. So you just go and take the lows here going back to the 30th of December. You need to connect those with earlier on in June, and also the current price where we are right now. And you'll see the market has bounced right off a very key trend level. It's also a key support zone as well, the 1272 level. So we're getting a nice bounce just this morning. You can see here we're getting a bullish move. Actually, if you go down just to some of the tighter time frames, you can see here the move a little bit more clearly as we're starting to grind up here. And you can see this V-shaped reversal pattern starting to form here on the tighter time frames as well. So what we'll be looking out for today is whether the comments from Janet Yellen will be bullish for gold and we'll see a move back up here to the 1290 zone, or whether these comments will be bearish and we'll see a retracement back down to the 1272 zone and potentially break this trend line, which would cause quite a lot of downward pressure for gold. If we'll take out a lot of sell, we'll take out a lot of buy orders, and we'll probably trigger a lot of sell shorts and a break around the 1270 zone there. So that's what we'll be looking out for today. So we've definitely got a very key event area here on gold, but gold looking supportive at the moment on Friday. You also want to take a look at the correlations through the other metals. First of all, you want to take a look at palladium. So palladium here, we've also had a bit of weakness this week. You can see where we shorted from just resistance here. We came up and hit our take profit target last week at the 900 level, gave us a sell short opportunity earlier on this week. We've had quite a strong retracement over the last couple of days. Yesterday, we had a strong retracement. We actually got back above here, back above Wednesday's highs. So palladium is getting quite a nice bounce here after this retracement. You can see a very strong trend channel to the upside, and we'd be looking to see something similar if the comments from the Fed chair, Janet Yellen, this afternoon are positive for gold. We could see a very large retracement here and potentially a very good value buy around the current price between 1270 to 1280 zone. Also keep an eye on the other confluencing markets. We've got platinum here as well. Platinum being one of the weaker metals over the last couple of weeks. We've had quite a big retracement here low. We've come all the way down to around the 1400 zone. You can see getting a nice little lift at the moment on the daily. So we'll be looking at this as well for some further confluence. Still we've got this upward trending channel, which has been in place this year on platinum. So we're still well above the lows from January 2014, which were around the 13-15 level. We're currently trading at $1,422 an ounce. Also keep an eye on copper. Copper was one of the first movers this week. We've got a breakout on Wednesday, got a really nice move higher here. We consolidated yesterday, and we've also got a breakout so far today as well. So if we see more upside with copper, again, this will help to lift the other metals out of this this pullback that we've seen. Also, silver, if you take a look at silver based on the much larger time frames here, we did get a nice hammer on silver form yesterday, which we've seen the price today just get above yesterday's highs here. So if you take a look at silver just on the daily here, we are getting a nice supported bounce. So we'll be looking for further confluence again with the other metals. Okay, so really, again, the key here for you to watch today will be the US dollar index to see whether we get a retracement, and gold particularly, you'll want to see if we can get a move back up to around the 1290 zone. Looking at the energies here, so energies at the moment are looking very interesting indeed. We did have a lovely breakout to the upside just yesterday from this key zone, the 101 zone. We're currently holding onto the 102 zone. We are still in a bit of a downward trending channel here, which is yet to break on oil. So you've got this downward trending channel, which is still staying pretty much from about the 8th of August here. You've got a very clear downward trending channel here. So we may be seeing some traders get in here for sell short opportunities on any retracement. So just keep an eye on that for both Brent and WTI at the moment. We could be due more downside here. We've had a nice little spike to the upside. We have taken profits at these levels, and we're very interested to see how oil is going to close the week now. We've formed a nice support zone around the 101 level, but we could just see more traders get in for sell shorts here just to get a continuation of this downward trend at the moment, particularly on Brent. If we take a look at WTI crude oil as well, so we had, again, this nice breakout yesterday to the upside. We've reached our take profit targets, and we're starting to get a little bit of a retracement just today and coming back down within that overall downward trending channel. So Brent and WTI, they still need to do some work here to get out of their downward trending channels at the moment. So we would like to see really a breakout of this downward trending channel in order to really see more longs get into this trade setup. Okay, so just having a look also at WTI on the daily, we did come down and find support at this key support zone just around the 92 level. This is where we bounced off just from yesterday, had some buy opportunities, and now we're looking potentially for some sell short opportunities here, depending on how the daily charts close. Okay, so do note these very strong downward trending channels. Okay, just going back to a quick question here from Chris Honduras regarding gold at the moment. Do we see gold falling to 1235 currently? You're short at the moment. Well, gold at the moment, again, you need to pay attention to this very important trend line, which gold has found support on, particularly going back historically here. You can actually draw this trend line if you want to really get into your technicals here. Just draw it all the way back and go much further back on the chart here, all the way back to 2005. It's been quite a key trend line, which we are supporting at the moment. So certainly at the moment where we are supporting the 1270 zone, I wouldn't be looking to short just now. I'll be looking to hold on to this for the time being for a nice bounce, potentially on Janet Yellen. However, on the speech this afternoon, if we do come down and we break through the 1272 zone, there's not really too much to stop gold coming much lower here. We could see a fall certainly down to around the 1260 zone, and potentially I can see where you're coming from there, Chris, in terms of your profit target would be this support zone just here, which would take us back to the swing lows of June, which is around the 1240 zone. So I would say if we can get a break below 1272, we could certainly be due more downside here. You need to keep an eye on the US dollar index and also the other metals. The other metals which are starting to break out at the moment and getting nice moves. So particularly you need to look at the confluence there. So the platinum, Palladium's getting a decent move at the moment. Platinum's bouncing off the support zone. Copper, we've had a breakout already. Silver is looking good on the daily at the moment. So for the time being, short term anyway, up until the Federal Reserve announcement this afternoon from Janet Yellen speaking, it looks bullish for the metals just this morning. But we shall see what Janet Yellen has to say and how that will impact the metals, okay? Just moving over to the soft market here as well. So we've got, just looking at wheat at the moment, we do actually have quite a strong consolidation here on the wheat and core markets at the moment. So with wheat currently, we've got still consolidation between the 571 level down to the 518. Until we can get a real strong breakout from this consolidation zone, we will stay just neutral until we can get a decent breakout here. Also, coffee is one to keep an eye out, particularly on the daily chart here. We've got coffee at the moment. We did form a nice a rejection candle here. We've got a nice bounce just off the 178 level. There's a bit of a trend channel starting to form here as well. We've got a downward trending channel and an upward trending channel just forming a pennant at the moment for the coffee market. So I would look to really see which way we're going to break from this pennant. If we can get a nice break above the 185 zone, we could really be due further more upside here on the coffee market as well. But I think today, the real key markets that you need to look at will be the US dollar index, gold, and keep an eye on the other metals as well. So particularly on the tighter time frame, just look at gold at the moment. it's looking good for the time being for a bullish move just this morning. So you want to keep an eye on this, particularly if we start to get a move back above some of these swing high points from yesterday. So back above, first of all, we're getting a break back above 1280. If we get a break above the 1283 zone, and then ultimately, if we can get a move back up to 1291 zone, this will be strong for gold as it comes into the close here on Friday. So we'll see what pans out. Let's just take a look at the major news announcements that we do have over the course of today and into next week as well. So Monday, the 25th of August at 3 p.m. BST, 10 a.m. Eastern time, we have new home sales. So that data measures the annualized number of new single-family homes that were sold during the previous month. This report tends to have more impact when it's released ahead of existing home sales because the reports are tightly correlated. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. Tuesday, the 26th of August at 1:30 p.m. BST, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US core durable goods. Core durable good orders measure the change in the total value of new orders for long-lasting manufactured goods, excluding transportation items. A higher reading indicates increased manufacturing activity, so a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. Tuesday, the 26th of August at 3 p.m. BST, 10 a.m. Eastern time, we have the CB consumer confidence. That data measures the level of consumer confidence in the economy. It is a leading indicator as it can predict consumer spending. High readings point to higher consumer optimism. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. Then on Wednesday, the 27th of August at 3:30 p.m. BST, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US crude oil inventories. Now that data reports a number of barrels of crude oil commercial firms have in their inventory. Commercial firms report those inventory levels to the Energy Information Administration on a weekly basis. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bearish for crude oil prices, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish, which we saw had a big impact on the oil markets this week. Thursday, the 28th of August, 3 p.m. BST, 10 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US initial jobless claims. That data measures the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week. So it is the earliest US economic data. Week-to-week numbers can be volatile. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. And then next Thursday, the 28th of August at 3:30 p.m. BST, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US natural gas storage inventory. So the Energy Information Administration, the EIA natural gas storage report